Good evening, it's Kuro. Got a tier 10 game in my gearing. Going over the matchmaking. Looking at... I got a Seattle Kronstadt, Gearing, Grozavoy, Yagumo. Looking at Zal, Kronstadt, and Yagumo in a division. Easy number one. You're alright. Okay, come here. You can help me with this one. Alright? Okay, me and number one are driving.
What?
No, you can't have my beer. Okay. So, I spawn over at CCAP, and CCAP is either a push it or delay it kind of thing, in my opinion. I do have some teammates with me, and I mean, knowing a Massachusetts, he's gonna be inclined to brawl on the cap, that kind of thing. So I'm just gonna push up here, see what I'm getting into. Basically, worst case scenario, after delaying the initial attempt to cap it, I will disengage.
What?
Here you go. No. Okay, I'm dropping my smoke for this buffalo up here. Reason being, this buffalo shouldn't be advancing like this. He should be pushing right up in here. And try to use this ledge to... I had the mini map in a different mode. Use this ledge here to shoot over this way and use his radar to cover the cap. So I don't want this guy to die, so I'm gonna waste one of my 3 smokes just trying to keep this guy alive for the initial engagement. Got a Musashi up here. Just keeping the guy spotted. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but you start to just see there's, you know, almost 9k off him right there. And I'm just gonna come in here. I'm just gonna dip in here real safe. I don't know where the radar cruisers are, and I'm just gonna throw some torps back there because ships always seem to like to congregate behind that island. I do pop the Seattle, and you know, one of the purposes of this video is to kind of show you the power of vision and zoning, you know, the enemy out. And basically this poor Seattle, we're just gonna embarrass this guy. If you notice, I'm running the 16s in this game. Basically just horrible enemy teams I've been having where everybody just wants to run away all game. So when you're in games like that, you know, having torps that can actually reach out, they can make those games a little easier for you to deal with. So get a little surprise for this Musashi. He has... He's basically just eating flooding. He blew his repair before he was actually in cover. Ate a torp, he's going to flood for quite a bit. Now, this is a fight that I'm actually liking. This is Ovechkin. You can see the additional HP difference between the two. Plus, I'm not running the legendary module. And I've got BFT, Adrenaline Rush, the whole 9 yards. This guy, theoretically, to beat me, he needs to be running main reload on top of it, which is unlikely in this day and age that people are running reload instead of torpedo tubes 3. So I'm gonna kind of fish around up here. I'm staying out, making sure I stay outside of 2 kilometers so I can't be proxy detected. The guy doesn't have RPF. He has no idea I'm coming. Gonna throw some more Make-A-Wishes out here on this Musashi. And that's what I was looking for. I was waiting for somebody to radar this this gearing. And if you look, I had basically came out this way. This Musashi was backing up, and by coming out in this direction, I moved my gun range outside of any potential spotters. So this guy, I'm blind shooting him. He's got an idea. He should know it's a gearing based on the gunfire, but he's got no way to actually spot me short of pushing out of his smoke himself. He disappears. So I'm just gonna chill. I just, chunked him down, a decent amount to no cost to me. And that puts me on pretty good terms. He's gonna peek out. He's already down 25%. Now, here's another thing. Knowing when you've got a good thing going. In this case, this guy is bow on to me. I'm broadside to him. He's, well, not broadside. I am angled to him, but I'm not angled enough. He could, if he swapped to AP, he could get a good volley in on me. But I'll take this fight because he's only got 66% of his DPM compared to mine. And I'm looking at, 100% DPM coming into him. Now, if he switches to AP, I am going to have to give up, the back gun. But what I'm gaining right now with, every 2.7 seconds is a pretty good, HP advantage over this guy. This guy should be shooting. Okay, he is shooting now. And I'm just being greedy. I was late smoking. Picked up a couple torp hits on the Musashi, and I was just right there. Just keep blind shooting the guy in the smoke. He gives broadside to me. AP time. Anti-aircraft gun crews are on normal alert. Boom. Double strike. Or just a double strike. I'm tired, haven't had coffee. So, that's the gearing dead. We're already up to 92k, thanks to a lot of flooding damage. And this is why I prefer this build for gearing. Outside of any sort of competitive battle where I need to run legendary module. It's just losing that 15% off your guns is so painful. It really starts to limit, what the ship can, which destroyers you can actively push, that kind of thing. This build, I would go head to head with this Grozavoy. I'd push into him, and as long as I'm under, 6-7 kilometers, definitely under 7, I should win that fight against that Grozavoy. Whereas legendary module, need to steer clear of that guy. And here's the issue. Seattle, what's he gonna do? I mean, this guy, he would really like to get undetected, so he can start making a move. But as soon as I get inside this guy's spotting range, I'm gonna hover right inside, that little bit of distance that he basically needs to go dark. I'm just gonna deny that to him, so he can't turn around, push me, and try to stealth radar. And this is why it's really powerful if you survive a radar cruiser's radar, pushing into them and keeping them lit for the team. Now that almost every radar cruiser cannot stealth radar you can just use that little bit of turf. You keep them spotted, you control the distance, you just hug their belt, and they're not going to be able to surprise you again, and you can ride it out and just let your team whittle them down and kill them. And that's what I'm going to do here. Now you see here, this Seattle, he wasn't able to fully disengage yet, so I'm turning, launching my torps. I am worried about this guy. If this guy completes a turn and comes around to try to ambush me, okay, and you see I pick him up there. He hasn't completed the turn, so I've got his belt now. I'm just now, you know, at the edge of his radar range. I slow down. There's no need for me to push in. You know, just maintain the distance. Let my team do their job. I'm doing my job. And again, we've got BCAP in solid control. There's no reason for me to come down here. It's more important that I provide vision to my team on this group of enemies up here. That way, these guys would be able to utilize island cover or whatever to, you know, pick these guys apart. I'm going to pick up a torpid on this Zao. Benefits of using these long-range torpedoes: you can target entire fleets with your torpedoes and just disrupt things. Now, I did get a little greedy. I did push into this Seattle a little bit, but I'm just going to slam on the brakes. But he had already popped his radar trying to get me. My bet is he's popped a couple radars trying to get me, but I was outside of his radar range, and I've just been that ghost chasing him across the map. And now that I know his radar's down, you know, I can keep track of that in my head. And the game ends with one of my ships just nuking that cruiser. So not the most exciting game outside of the initial fight. But this game, I basically used vision control, just zoned everything out of that end of the map. Yeah, that's right. There you go. Yeah? So, quick game, you know, lucky with the 48,000 flooding damage. You know, without the flooding damage, it's a pretty so-so match. You know, it's always nice being able to pretty much almost solo a DD yourself. Yeah. But, you know, 78,000 spotting damage. You know, you can really rack up insane numbers. The only reason this wasn't higher is I didn't get in close enough to really be the spotter on the rest of the enemy team till later in the game, just because most of the enemy team was away from me. But it's these kinds of plays that, yes, you're not at a cap, but you're doing a lot of work for your team. Like if my team was advancing, and actually closer behind me, I could even be dropping smokes as I'm pursuing the enemy for my team just to slip right in. You know, they're smoked up. They're just, you know, half speed through the smoke, just keep, you know, pursuing. And it's really difficult for the enemy to counter that kind of play style. You need another destroyer basically to try to knock me out of this chasing position to give their cruisers a chance to stealth up and get in a position to surprise me with radar. Yeah? Yeah? Oh, really? Well, what do you want? No, you can't have my keyboard. I'm working right now. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this game. It's another, you know, example of just good vision control with Gearing. Gearing's the best tier 10 DD with denying vision with its smoke. And, you know, it's also really good at providing vision too. I wished it was a little bit faster so you could actually, you know, scout a little more aggressive, but all in all, it's a really solid ship. So, hope you guys enjoyed the game. Hope you guys are having a good night. And number one, can you say bye? Can you say bye? Are you going to be shy? Okay. You guys have a good night. Talk to you later.